Hello everyone, welcome to the Cozy Soul Knitting Podcast. I'm Saoirse. Welcome if you are new here. I am a knitter from the Seattle area in Washington State, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So glad that you are returning and hanging out with me again. Hopefully you're having a good month, a good December, and if you are celebrating any holidays this time of year, I hope you're having a wonderful time. I hope you're getting some time off of work or school or whatever it is that you're doing, and if you're gift knitting, I hope that that is going well for you. I hope that it's not stressing you out. I hope you're taking care of yourself and also knitting things for you. Definitely make sure to let me know in the comments what you're knitting on while watching. It's been a while since I filmed my last podcast, so that was unintentional. I did not mean to have such a large gap in between podcast episodes. I've been trying to do every 2 weeks, and I started to get in a little rhythm there, and then I don't know. I honestly don't. It was like 2 weeks. I knew that I was supposed to podcast, and I think I was just busy, and I kept pushing it back, and then I got sick. So I had to wait until I, A, felt better, and B, I felt better, and then my voice was like still gross though, so I just didn't really want to podcast. Yeah, and then the past like 2-3 days I've been trying to podcast, and unfortunately, and it happens, but unfortunately my new neighbors, they haven't moved in yet. They just purchased the unit next door, and they've been doing some work on it, and it's been going throughout like all day. It's just all day until like 7:30, 8 in the evening, which is like not great etiquette in my opinion. I feel like you're supposed to kind of wrap up around 5 or 6, but it is what it is, and hopefully it's coming to an end. I know that the people who sold the unit had done some work on it already in order to sell it, so I'm like, how much more work does it really need? Probably not that much, so I'm hoping they're wrapping it up and it won't be an issue in the coming weeks. But it was just, today I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my makeup, I'm gonna get everything in the room, I'm gonna get all set up, and I'll just wait till he's done. And then it was like another hour before they're like, whoever, I don't know, handyman, contractor, I'm not sure who he is. So anyways, hopefully that will be wrapping up shortly, and pretty sure the workers are gone, so it should be nice and quiet for us, but it's like 8 o'clock already, and I'm tired. I want to be in bed like reading and knitting. Not that I don't want to be here hanging out with you guys, I do. I would just prefer to like podcast during the day when I'm more alert. I specifically took off my lip gloss that I put on because I was like, we also need some tea. Okay, and then if you are new here, I do a very traditional podcast. I'm just going to talk about finished objects, whips, and then acquisitions and future plans, and I have a little bit of everything today. I actually have 3 finished objects, and so I'm very excited to share those with you. And 2 of them are gift knits, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Like, we might make it, we might get all the gift knitting done. It's not gonna happen, but I got close, so that's cool. Okay, so I will start first with what I'm currently wearing. Let's just go ahead and get started. So this is my first finished object. It is the Never sweater by Kalilah, aka more KopyKali here on YouTube. I was trying to angle the camera. I was like, I'm not getting as much. I'm like, maybe I should make the camera go down like a little bit more because like I'm not getting a lot of this sweater in frame, but I will put in, I took some pictures and some video yesterday in this to post to Instagram, so I'll put some in here for you so you can see it. But I will kind of stand up and just show you guys because hi. There's so much positive ease on this. It is an oversized sweater. I'm obsessed. I'm in love. Kalilah, if you're watching, you did an incredible job. Like, I'm so impressed. Like, wow. Okay. Also, I will make sure I have Kalilah linked down below, like her YouTube and her Instagram, so that if you're like wanting to know immediately when this is released, you can like make sure you're following her. I believe that it is coming out in, I think it's being released January 14th, though I think that that is like a tentative date depending on when the testers finish. So I think a few of us have finished, but there's still, I think, quite a few people who haven't yet. And yeah, so a little bit more about this sweater. So this is a true oversized sweater. And when people say the word oversized, this is what I think of. So I've realized lately though that when some other people use the word oversized, they don't mean this, and that was a revelation to me. I was like, wait, you think that's oversized? Like that just has a little, like a couple extra inches of positive ease. That's not oversized. This is oversized. Anyways, that's what I think of when I hear the word oversized. Something like this, just very big on the person that is wearing it. Also, I want to say about this, it's a 6-stitch raglan, worked top down, and I was just looking at my gauge today and measuring it after I blocked it. So I was pretty spot on with my gauge. I think the pattern calls for a 22 stitch gauge, and I think I was like 22 and a half. And so I was like, and that was just in the one section that I measured, and my gauge swatch was spot on after blocking and everything. So I don't know. My measurements, the finished bust circumference was like 3 inches shy though, so I'm not really sure how that happened. I wonder if my tension was changing a little bit as I was working through it, but either way, it's still a lot of positive ease. And this way it actually gives me almost maybe 19-20 inches of positive ease, which is the pattern calls for, or the pattern recommends 20 inches of positive ease. And if this was the size that it was supposed to be, it would have had 23 inches, which would be totally fine. But anyway, so it's a little bit more true to the recommended ease of the pattern, which is fine, is awesome actually. So it's kind of perfect. I love it. I guess, so modification wise, I didn't make any modifications other than I obviously didn't knit it as long as the pattern states to, both for the body and the sleeves, because I am very petite. I'm only 5 feet tall, so obviously it didn't need to be as long as if you're taller than that. And let's see, I also, I bound off just in pattern because it's so oversized. I didn't need anything to be like super stretchy or anything. So I just made sure to bind off loosely and in pattern. I was not gonna do, I can just stay here and like pull the end of the sweater up for you guys to see, and it's still covering my torso. Like, that's how long it is. It does go past my butt. I don't know if I said that. But anyways, I was not gonna do a tubular bind off on a body this big. Like, I thought that might actually kill me. Like, tubular Italian bind off like takes me so long on the body of sweaters, and this is even a like bigger body, so I was just like, no way am I doing that. But I didn't need to because it's so oversized, it didn't need to be extra stretchy or anything, at least in my opinion. Anyways, what else do I want to say? And then for the sleeves, basically I just followed the pattern instructions for decreasing, and once I was done with the decreases, I tried it on, and the sleeves were already very long. You couldn't tell, like, they go much past my hands. That was not proper grammar. They go very far past. They're very long. They're extra long, which I like personally, and I feel like it fits the vibe of the sweater. But yeah, once I was done with the decreases that the pattern called for, it was like, oh, okay, time to do the ribbing, like for the sleeves, because they were already long enough. So yeah, so those were the only modifications I made. It has a folded collar. It is just a beautiful, beautiful sweater. And if you like oversized things, I think Kalilah is gonna be your new favorite designer, because that's her vibe. So yeah, I'm planning on wearing this all the time. It's already, I'm feeling super cozy and comfy. This is my first time like wearing it because I wanted it to look nice for the podcast, so I didn't want to wear it a ton and then have it all like wrinkled. Like my Simber sweater is so wrinkled, especially in the sleeves, because I like push the sleeves up a lot, so I just didn't want that to happen. And then put it on, and yeah, I wanted it to look kind of brand new, fresh off the blocking mats. So anyways, what else do I want to say about it? The yarn combination that I used is Drops Flora and Drops Kid Silk, both in the shade Petrol, in the colorway, not shade, colorway Petrol. And I have a lot of this yarn left, so if you've been here before, if you've watched some of my past episodes, you might know I bought 15 skeins of both of these yarns. Drops was having a sale, okay, so it was like $50, like it was nothing. And I think that was including the shipping, maybe not including the shipping, I don't know, but it was not very much. And I bought it before I knew that I was gonna get this test knit, so I didn't know how much yarn I would need, so I just overbought because I just wanted to make sure that I would have enough to do this test knit if I did get chosen, which I did. So let me see, I just want to count. I do have a little left over from, so this is how much I have left of the skein of mohair that I was using. And then I think I just kind of barely dipped into this skein of the Flora. So I have those left. So I have 6 full skeins of the Flora left and 7 full skeins of the mohair left. I think I have like a sweater quantities worth still, maybe. And then let's see, I bought 15. So how many did I use? Let me look. I can't do math in my head like that. So I used 9 skeins? No, not quite 9 skeins of the Drops Flora, and then 8, not quite 8 of the Kid Silk. I don't like math, I don't like numbers, so if that's wrong, okay. But anyways, I have a lot of yarn left over, and considering that this is an oversized sweater, I definitely have a whole nother sweater quantity's worth. So I might make myself another sweater in this color, in this yarn. Maybe something that's like textured in some way could be cool. Maybe a cardigan, maybe just something different enough that it won't look like I just have 2 of the same sweaters, just different sizes. But yeah, so anyways, I like this yarn combination. It was really fun to work with. I will let you know if it pills. It's a little itchy, but I feel like my skin is getting more and more used to it. I'm wearing just like a cami underneath, so I have a lot of exposed skin, especially on my arms and right here and on my back, so it's not super itchy. It's not like, I can feel it, but it's not really itchy, and I feel like like when I first put it on, I was like, ooh, that's a little prickly. Not sure, but it's like fading. Like I'm getting used to it, I guess, like the longer that it's on me. So yeah, I like this yarn combination. I think I'm gonna be knitting with more Drops, just because it is such an affordable yarn, and I'm just trying to, I want to save some money when it comes to my yarn projects. So, and I do already have a lot of Drops in my stash, but I think going forward that's going to be one of my go-tos for sweaters because it's just so affordable and good quality, in my opinion. I like it. So if you've been wanting to work with Flora and Kid Silk together, I would recommend it. And you know, wait till they have a sale, especially on the Kid Silk. Yes. Why not, right? Okay, so if you have any questions about this, let me know. I think I've talked about everything though when it comes to this sweater. Yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. I'm gonna be wearing it all the time. So when I get back to vlogging, those of you who watch my vlogs, you're gonna be seeing this a lot. So this next finished object, I'm pretty sure, I think the only person in my family that watches and even knows that I have this YouTube channel is my mom. So Mom, you should not be watching this until after Christmas, unless you you've already seen some of these, but if you would like to kind of, you know, still be slightly surprised, watch this after Christmas, not now. I wanted to knit my sister a pair of socks, so I did get those finished, and I knit just the basic vanilla sock pattern, the one by Crazy Sock Lady, and I did a 2x2 ribbed cuff because that's what I like best. Again, shout out to Kalilah and Kahila and Chelsea from True Lane, because I think Chelsea inspired Kalilah and Kahila to do the 2x2 rib, and then I saw them do it and I was like, oh my gosh. So because I don't like 1x1 rib, especially on a sock. Like, I don't know, it just never looks good, in my opinion, on mine that I do. I'm sure your 1x1 ribbing looks much better. But you know how sometimes it just looks weird. Anyways, I'm not a fan of it on socks. I like the 2x2 rib, so I will never look back now. But anyways, let's see. I knit the small, like circumference, and then my sister has bigger, like longer feet, I guess, than my mom and I, so I knit hers. I can't remember exactly how. I think I knit them to like 7¼ inch before I started the toe. So, and I just did your regular, you know, heel flap and gusset and all of that. Again, I literally just followed the Crazy Sock Lady tutorial, and yeah. This is in a Knit Picks yarn, and I don't remember what it's called. I knit a pair of socks for myself in this exact yarn, but I had a lot of it, so I decided my sister and I would get matching socks. And then I think maybe at some point I might use the rest of the yarn to knit my mom a matching pair, and we'll just all have a matching pair. Might be kind of cool, I don't know. Because I think I have another little tiny like leftover skein from when I knit my socks. So I feel like between the two of them, I could maybe make my mom a pair. I don't know, I'm not sure. I'll have to like weigh it and see, but anyways, one gift knit down, which is awesome, very exciting. I still need to block those, by the way. I don't think I said that. And I will leave the yarn name down below, I just can't remember. I think this is in the colorway Thrill, and this might be their Muse fingering, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. I might be confusing it with a different yarn, but anyways, that's that. And then I also, just today, I finished my mom's pair of socks. So I knit my mom these socks. Again, they're not blocked. This one is also still needing the end woven in here. I think I did this one though. Yeah, I did this one. So just they obviously need blocked, but yeah, I finished the second one today. So I finished the first one, and then I was like, oh, I should really do the one for my sister, like the pair for my sister first, because I see my mom way more than I see my sister. So it would just be easier to gift my mom the socks like late than it would be to gift my sister the socks a little late. So I decided that I would do my sister's socks first. So I switched, did 2 of those socks, then came back to this one. So here it is. This is just a, oh no, my SD card is, okay, I just had to delete some of the footage off my SD card, so if we're at a slightly different angle. So I forget what I was talking about, but I think I was about to say that I just did a 3x1 ribbed sock. I just started in with the 3x1. In hindsight, maybe, I've seen other people do like a 2x2 or something and then go to the 3x1, something like that, to kind of give it more of a cuff. This doesn't really have a cuff, it just kind of has a leg. So I'm hoping it won't matter, that it'll still like stay up, but maybe something for the future if I try this again. And then yeah, it just continues down the foot with regular stockinette on the bottom of the foot. And then yeah, I kind of effed up. Sorry, Mom. Hopefully they're still going to fit just fine, but I messed up on the heel flap. I just didn't do it for enough, like I just didn't do it long enough. I don't know why, I just didn't. I only did 12 rounds instead of, I believe I was supposed to do 16. So I'm hoping that that's okay. When I went to go pick up the number of gusset stitches that the pattern stated, I was kind of, sorry, I wasn't really following a pattern. I was kind of combining some things from the Crazy Sock Lady, just vanilla socks, with this free pattern that I found on Ravelry. I will leave it linked down below. I was just kind of using both to just get like stitch counts and other things, but not really following them. So kind of mashed two patterns together, kind of didn't follow either one super specifically, but I was trying to do the heel flap according to the free pattern, and it said to do 16 for the heel flap, and for some reason I only did 12, and again, I don't know why. When I was looking at the first sock, when I was going to pick up the gusset stitches, I was like, that's weird, I can't seem to pick up as many as it's telling me to. There just aren't any to, like, there's only so many to pick up. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I just kept going instead of realizing that I had done something wrong. But then when I did my second sock, I realized what I had done because I was looking at my notes and counting, you know, was reading my stitches on the first sock and realizing that I just didn't do enough of the heel flap. So I'm hoping it'll still fit my mom's foot. I'm hoping there, you know, blocking magic will occur. I'm not sure how these are going to fit my mom. These were kind of an experiment, but I think, you know, as long as there's something she can kind of wear around the house, I feel like it'll be all good. So this is the amount of yarn I have left. And I do have another skein of this. Let me grab it. This is it in its hanked form. Ooh, with something hanging off of it. And this is the Coastal Yarns hand-dyed yarn. It's their Sneaker Waves fingering, which is 80% merino superwash and 20% nylon. And this colorway is Oswald West. And I believe I talked about it in the... But anyways, I think I did talk about this in the last podcast, like the colorway and everything. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. It looks so different when it's caked up. Like, isn't that interesting? So I was thinking, I don't know if I have enough yarn. So I'm gonna have to check. But I was kind of thinking of making an Oslo hat with this, like holding it double. So that's maybe a future plan in the works. But yeah, I think this colorway is so much fun, and I don't know, it just, I don't know. It's very cool, I like it. 2 of my gift knits are finished. They just need blocked, but that's easy peasy. Won't take me very long, and they dry pretty quickly, so I'm excited. I'm excited to gift those. These are gonna be my first like Christmas gift knits, because last year during Christmas I was knitting, but I was so like new to like knitting things, basically all the things that weren't scarves, that I was obviously not planning on really knitting anything for anyone. I think I made my friend a hat when I started to work in the round. I made my friend a hat, and that was like, that wasn't really for Christmas. I think that was later on, or maybe what, I don't know. It wasn't, I don't think it was a gift for anything specifically. I think it was just like, I think I actually made it for myself, and then, but as I was like knitting it, I was like, this just looks like a color that would look really good on her, so I just gave it to her instead. So this is my first actual like gift knitting season, and I feel pretty successful at it. And yeah, we can continue to talk about gift knits because I have one more that I'm working on. I originally had 4 that I was planning, and my dad's hat is just gonna have to wait. Yeah, he's gonna get it later. I just don't have it in me to try to get that done in time. But I have already started my mom's hat, which is the Cheslie Toque, and I'm totally blanking on the name of the designer. I always put a picture of the design and the designer name and the name of the pattern on the screen for you. It's also always listed in the description of the video, so it'll be there for you. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I think this is a designer that I've never done any of their patterns before, so I just hasn't sunk in yet who it is. But yeah, this is the start of the Cheslie Toque. So it's kind of hard to see. It's bunched up on cables, and so the lace pattern isn't really gonna show through very well right now, I don't think, but I have started the lace pattern. I've done, I think, maybe 2 repeats of it, and it's been pretty fun. It's a pretty easy chart to follow. I'm enjoying it. I haven't worked on this in the last week or so, I don't think, because I've been really trying to get the socks done. And when I first started the ribbing on this, I was like, oh, this is not so bad. I don't know why I was thinking I hated working with this yarn. It's really nice. And then I set it aside and I was working with, like, you know, my other whips that are wool and I came back to this and I was like, oh, that's why. Like, it just, I don't know. I was like, it just doesn't feel as nice when you are used to working with wool. So anyways, it's looking very small because of the rib, but it does stretch. And oh, did I say this yarn is Line Brand Vanna's Choice, and this is the color Sage, I believe. So it's 100% acrylic. It is what it is. I bought it a while ago. I have a hat, I've said this so many times probably, so I'm sorry if you are sick of me repeating this, but I do have a classic ribbed hat by Pearl Soho in this yarn, and I really like it. Like the finished object, I really like it. So that's why I bought more to make for my parents, because they didn't want, at the time, they were like, wool hat seems like it'd be too hot, but I think I will make them wool hats in the future and they'll probably be like, oh my gosh, this is so much nicer. Let's see, what else do I want to say about this? Oh, the pattern has you do, is it a tubular cast on? I think that's what I'm thinking of. That took me 4 tries to get it. I was doing it right, but it's really hard to count, like, and not have it all just come apart. And yeah, so it took me quite a few tries to get the right count, and yeah, but I did eventually make it work, and that's awesome. I feel like I learned a new skill. So yay, I'm excited. I'm going to be kind of focused in on this for the next few days and see if I can get it finished before Christmas. It looks very small, but I did like put it on a try-on cord and put it around her head. I don't think she knew what it was exactly at that point. And it did stretch and it did seem like it was fitting her, and she said it wasn't too tight. So I'm hoping that once it's off the needles, it's not bunched up, and once it's, I'm gonna block it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever blocked acrylic before, so I'm not sure if it'll do much, but we'll see. Anyways, that's the Cheslie Toque. Excited for it. This is not my first time doing lace, but I haven't done much lace, so it's been fun. And then I only have one more whip to talk about, and this one, I just need help. I need help deciding what to do with it, because it's kind of come to a standstill, and I'll explain why. But I do have more whips that are just languishing. They're not active currently, and this one has kind of become languishing just because, again, I just don't know what to do with it. So the next whip I have is my Dorney sweater. This is a pattern by Ecru, aka Rebecca, and the Dorney is a cabled sweater, all over cable. Sorry, I feel like it just wasn't, like, the camera was too high, or like the frame, and I just felt like I had to be like this, and it's uncomfortable. So this is the Dorney. I think I already said that. I've split for sleeves since you last saw, and I did try it on, and it goes on, so I think with blocking it'll fit. It might be more truer to size than I might care for, but maybe not, I don't know. And I knew that this sweater was going to be a little bit of an experiment just because of the cables. I've done cables before, but I've never done a cable sweater, so I was like, it's gonna be an experiment. Also, I lied. I totally have another whip. Sorry. But yeah, it's fine. I just don't know that I'm loving the yarn. to be completely honest. And I just feel like this yarn, I don't know, I just don't know that I like the yarn for this sweater. And I'm realizing I haven't told you what the yarn is. It's West Yorkshire Spinners Aran Fleece Jacob yarn. I have some right here. And I'm thinking, I realized, I think the yarn that Rebecca used for one of her samples was this yarn, but not the fleece one, just the regular Aran Jacob. I don't know if that's maybe why I'm not loving this because, you know, I was thinking like, what the heck, like she used this yarn for her sample, it should be good. But I'm just not loving it. It's very gapey. Like, I don't know if you can see, but I don't know if that's like, maybe I'm worrying about it for nothing. Like maybe once it's on, it wouldn't be super see-through. And I don't know if maybe that's just something kind of about cables, because they kind of really stretch, like those purl stitches in between the cables, like really stretch. And I don't know if I like it. I like the color and I like the cables and I like the pattern. I just don't know that I like the yarn. And it's not that it's too rustic. I just don't know. I'm like, would I get a different effect with a different yarn? And I also, do I still have I know I have the swatches somewhere. So I don't know if this is the same needle size that I got, but it's like, when you stretch it, it's very, can you tell? It's very see-through, and just gapey, and I don't know, it didn't bloom kind of the way that I was hoping that it would, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really sure. And the reason I'm kind of thinking I want to maybe frog it is, I think it was like right here, I had done the wrong leaning cable. I can't remember, but I did the opposite one than I was supposed to. And so I went and I did that thing where you can like undo just that cable and then redo it, but then the tension is just, let me see if I can show you. Can you see? Can you tell? Ugh, it's right here. Can you tell? The tension is just, look at that. Look at that. What the heck? Like there's just, it's disgusting. I mean, let's say, yeah. I'm being a little dramatic, but it's just, oh, it looks so bad, and things were going so well before that I tried to fix it, and I don't know if I can really, I was gonna see if I could kind of pick at the stitches a little bit and loosen them up. So I might try to do that first and see if I can fix it before I continue, but yeah, I'm just not sure that I'm loving the yarn. And so I don't know if I should just maybe rip it back and make a different sweater with this yarn and just do something that's like not cabling, not textured, just, I don't know, a nice thick stockinette sweater. But it also looks really nice though, you know? Like the cables with the white yarn, like, so I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Give me all your opinions. What should I do with this? I feel like this is an easy fix. I just feel like I'm not confident in myself to fix it. And then I keep thinking like, well, what if I fuck up another cable? And then I have to go do that again. But I haven't messed up. I checked. I don't think I've messed up any other cables. I've been really good about it. So I don't know. I just don't know. I could also try to rip that back. But I'm not confident that I can pick up all of those stitches. So even if I were to take like a different set of needles and pick up the stitches before ripping back, and then I'm just not confident that I would pick them up correctly. And I'm just like, maybe I should just start over completely, but that just seems like a waste when the mistake is just right here. So let me know if you have any tips. I feel like I could maybe pick at the stitches and just try to even them out a little bit, but I'm just so nervous that that's not gonna do anything. Or I'm gonna make it even worse, and at that point, like, I will just rip it back. But what should I do? What do I do with this? Please give me input. Because I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, where... I was gonna leave it, right? I was gonna leave the cable as it was, just to have it be messed up, because it was, couldn't really tell, but just because of where it is in the sweater, it's like right on the bust. And I've got big boobs, so I just feel like, you know, people's eyes are just gonna go right to that wrong cable that's just on my boob. So I had to fix it, and then I just feel like I made it worse. But I didn't. It's just like I messed it up in a different way. So all that to say, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this whip. Another thing I wanted to mention, just in case anyone else is knitting the same size as me and ran into this, I'm knitting the size 6, by the way, because my gauge, I could not get gauge, so I just went up a size. Size 6 in the pattern, it tells you that you do not have to move the beginning of round marker after you split for sleeves, but I found that you did have to move it. You have to move it like back 2 stitches, because otherwise the charts did not match up. So that was confusing, and I'm an overthinker, so I was like, am I doing something terribly wrong? And this is unrelated, by the way, to the mistake with the cable. That was just me doing the wrong cable. But I have the right number of stitches, everything else was correct, but it didn't tell you to move the beginning of round, and it kind of offset like all of the charts, and I was like, the heck? So I don't know. And then I checked Ravelry, and I did see someone else say that they had the same thing happen. If you're knitting the size 6, that's just something I think to watch out for, because I think there is an error in the pattern, but it's super easy to figure out for yourself. And there's also a possibility that I did something wrong and I just don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. So pretty sure that the error is in the pattern. So if you're knitting a size 6, you might, it says you don't have to move the beginning of round marker when you split for sleeves, but you might. Just a note. Let's move on to my next whip, which I kind of forgot about because I've been doing so much gift knitting and trying to make time for this whip, but I've been needing to get my gift knits done. I got accepted to another test knit, and this one I have a little story for. I feel like I always do with test knits. So I had seen this beautiful, gorgeous sweater. It's the Freya sweater by Johanna. Her Instagram handle is Yarn Me Up. I'll have her linked down below. It's this gorgeous cabled, like, quarter zip sweater. It's beautiful, and I had been seeing it on my feed for a while, and when I saw that she was going to be putting out the tester call, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I'm going to do that. And so I made sure to kind of watch for that tester call to come out, and when it did, I went on my phone and I was filling out the form and I clicked submit. My phone did a weird thing where it was like, oh, do you want to save this form information? And I clicked not now, and then the form just sort of reset, and I was like, oh no, like it didn't go through. And so I was gonna do it again and just put a note and be like, hey, sorry if you get 2 submissions, like my phone did something weird. But then I was like, oh wait, what if this is like the universe telling me not to do this test knit? Like maybe the universe is like, you shouldn't spend that money right now or something, you know, I don't know what reason it would have, right? But so I was like, okay, universe, like if I'm supposed to do this test knit, then the form went through and I'll get it. And if the form didn't go through, then that just means I wasn't supposed to do this test knit. So I just forgot about it. And then I ended up getting the test knit. So that was really exciting. I feel like it's just very synchronous. So yeah, it's for the Freya sweater. I said that already. But this is my swatch, and I have casted it on, but I just wanted to show you because I haven't gotten to the cable part on the actual whip, so I wanted to show you these little chain cables. They're so beautiful. I've never done any type of cable like this before, and it's so simple. I feel like kind of like kind of simple, but kind of like, I don't know. I'll just show you guys again. Do you see what I mean? Like when you're actually doing it, it's like, oh wow, like I was expecting it to be harder. But oh my gosh, it just is so beautiful. The construction of this sweater is so cool. I don't know how much I should, like, I don't know how much I can share about it. I don't want to give away the pattern or anything, but also I'll just show you and you'll like see and you'll be like, wow, that's such a cool construction. 100% in the middle of a round, or row actually. I'm actually technically knitting flat right now. Not technically, well, I mean, yes, I don't need to use the word technically. I am knitting I'm knitting flat right now. So I'm in the middle of the row, which, so sorry, but you can, it kind of helps you see better. So this is the zipper facing right here. And this is the collar, the ribbing for the collar. So very interesting construction. I've never done anything like this before. I feel like I'm learning so much, and I've obviously not done a very large amount because the socks needed to get done, but I'm planning on working on this in the Cheslie Toque for the next few days, just really concentrating on those. I need to get much further in this just so I can feel like I'm on track for that test knit, and then hopefully get the Cheslie Toque done for my mom for Christmas. But I feel like now things are so manageable with the socks out of the way. I feel amazing. Okay. Oh, so sorry. This yarn, by the way, so we did get, the testers did get a 15% off, I believe, from Knit Loops, which is a German yarn brand, if I'm not mistaken. And this is their Sweet Alpaca. So this is like the softest thing ever. And I actually originally started doing my gauge swatch with the with my Clover Takumi needles, which are, you know, bamboo, and my stitches were just sliding all over the place. It's that soft, you know, that they're just like whoosh right off. And so I was like, okay, which set of needles is the grippiest? So I did decide to go with my Licca driftwood needles, the indigo set that I have here, because these have, they're wood, but they have a little bit more grip. Like, they're very smooth, but they have a little bit more grip than my other, I have like Knitter's Pride needles that are very smooth, like more smooth, so I didn't think that those would be a good fit either. And then the bamboo needles are like super smooth, so they just were like whoosh. And even these ones, I had some stitches just as I was doing the zipper facing. At one point I just accidentally pulled my needle right out of all the stitches, and I was just like, oh my god. But they were super easy to pick back up, so just to give you the kind of the full effect of all of the yarn. I know when people kind of like to see all of it. I'm missing a skein. I have 7 skeins. I'm not missing it, it's right there. I can't hold it anymore. But I have 7 skeins of this yarn. I'm knitting the size 5, and that was the recommended amount, was 7 skeins. So that's what I got. And oh, and it's in the shade Beer? But like B-E-R, no, B-E-E, no, B-E-E-R-E. Berry, beer. I don't know how to say it. Apologies. But obviously it's this beautiful, like rich, kind of plummy purple. And I feel like I'm just having a good time with these like darker, kind of richer shades right now. I'm really enjoying this. Okay, so yeah, so that was a new acquisition, by the way, that came in after the last podcast. So I guess we'll just move into acquisitions, because that is, oh, and I forgot, I do have another acquisition. It's not, honestly, I'm not gonna go grab it. It's not that exciting. I bought a sweater shaver thing from Conair. It was like $11 on Amazon to deep hill my sweater, my sweaters, plural, because my December sweater is pilling like crazy. So I did ask in my last podcast, I think, was it in my last podcast? I think. Or I don't know, I was just like, hey, what's the best way to deep hill this? And one of you did say to get a shaver thing, like, yeah, so I looked into that. And I watched a video, I'll see if I can leave it linked down below, I don't remember what it was called, but it was just a video on like how to deep hill your sweater. and it told you, you know, like the woman was saying, like, don't ever use one of those sweater combs or anything that's gonna snag the fabric. You want something that like cuts the pills off. So that was very helpful. And so between that and the comment that I got about the fabric shaver, sweater shaver, I think they're called, I went ahead and got one. So it's downstairs though. You'll see it maybe in a vlog or something. And then I have one more acquisition, and then that's it. Well, that's not quite the end. I've some plans to chat about briefly. So if you're not really an acquisitions person, maybe stick with me because I only have one more to talk about, and then I have future plans that I am kind of thinking about casting on soon. So, okay, so this first thing I'm about to show you is not the new yarn. I've already had this. This is the Dirty Water Dye Works Lilith gradient bundle in the colorway Moonshadow, sorry. My mom had gifted me this yarn a while back, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I don't know, it was just staring me in the face. I feel like every time I looked in my yarn cabinet, I'm like, what am I gonna do with you? And then I was watching Laura Penrose, her Vlogmas, and I saw her start her, what is it called? The What the Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry, I believe, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I have a fade set, like I could do that. But then that it requires 6 colors, and I was like, maybe I could still figure it out, but then I was kind of like, I don't know. I just figured, like, I think I'm gonna need to have an even number of colors, and my battery's about to die, so sorry, had to go change the battery on my camera. So anyways, I was thinking, you know, that shawl kind of seemed like it needed 6 colors or like an even number of colors, so I just like wasn't really sure, and I just didn't feel like trying to figure it. Oh god, this is coming undone. Oh no, so many interruptions. I don't know what I was saying. Basically, long story short, I was like, I just don't feel like using this yarn for that pattern, but I wanted to do some sort of fadey shawl because I just feel like that would give, like, a shawl would show off the fade better than I feel like anything else. I decided that I would go and look and see what other people maybe did with this, but I couldn't really find like this specific bundle on Ravelry as like a yarn that people could like add to projects. But I did go and look at the Dirty Water Dye Works site, and they had a couple projects that they used this bundle in. But one of them, the one that I like was instantly like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful, actually requires a second bundle. So I went ahead and I bought another bundle. So I got a different blue, and I don't know, I just thought it would be kind of cool, like, because they're similar but different. And part of me was like, maybe I should have gone with a neutral to maybe kind of make it so it's not like too in your face, but this one is has a little bit more green to it, and it's a little bit more warm toned. This one's a little bit cooler, this one's a little bit more warm. Even, you know, maybe not completely, maybe more neutral, but in terms of undertone. But I just thought this would be kind of cool. It's gonna fade from like one end into this one. And now that I'm sitting here, I can't remember what the shawl is called, but I will, of course, like usual, there'll be pictures, the name will be there, and I will leave a link to the Ravelry page for it. But it looks so beautiful, it looks so fun, and I know that these bundles will work for it. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm very excited, and I just think that they're gonna look so cool together, I think, personally. And yeah, so that is my acquisition and the future plan for said acquisition. It would be great if I could remember what the pattern was. I can see it in my head, it like fades beautifully, and it's kind of, I think the lighter part is in the middle, so it kind of fades out to the darker colors from the middle, and it's gonna look so good. And this is coming from someone who can't seem to ever finish any of my shawl projects that I set out to make, but that's okay, we'll get there. One of my future plans, so this is not an acquisition, I already had this, but I have a sock set from Sorella. This is their nylon sock set, so it's 80/20, and this is the 1989 sock set from their their most recent Taylor Swift, I forget what it's called, the Eras collection, I think maybe. So I think this is going to be the next set of socks that I cast on because I feel like these colors, again, they're like rich. I think like good for winter. I don't know. I was looking at my sock yarn and I was like, which one should I cast on next? Because I want to get right into it. You know, I want to keep those socks churning out. Does this give you wintry vibes? It's giving me wintry vibes in a kind of indirect way. I just looked again at my, which one is more wintry? I actually feel like this one. This, because it's got the blues. I want something with like kind of the bolder, deeper colors because there's something about those colors specifically in winter sometimes too, you know? Like a nice jewel toned. Neither of these are really jewel toned, but I feel like they're the closest that I have. Should I do this one or this one? Which one should I do? Please let me know. This one is Karma, by the way, and this one is the 1989 sock set. So please, thoughts, opinions, which one do I do? Because like this one's got the red and this like contrast color is like a little more, giving me a little bit more summer vibes, but the skein, like the full skin, I don't know. This could be more summery too. I feel like it just depends on how you're looking at it. Help me out. Which one is more wintry? It doesn't really matter, but I don't know. I'm leaning towards this one, but give me your thoughts. I have a lot of this Drops Daisies yarn. Not daisies, just daisy. I have a lot of the Drops Daisy in the color, the caramel color, which is, the number is 12. I saw Marlene Knits wearing this beautiful sweater and now I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna go look back and see. It was like a couple podcasts ago, I think. Marlene, what are you wearing in this? What are you wearing? The Judy sweater. The Judy sweater by Gregoria Fibers. The Judy sweater by Gregoria Fibers. I don't know. I saw her wearing it in that podcast episode and I was like, that looks fun to knit and it looks fun to wear. Like, it looks so pretty. I wasn't sure what to do with this daisy yarn. Like, I have a lot of it and it's just been sitting for a bit. It's not even in my yarn cabinet. Like, it's still in the plastic bag that it came in, except for this one that I took out because I needed to feel it. But I bought it when it was on sale and I didn't know what I was gonna make with it, so I just bought 20 of them at the time. It seemed like a reasonable thing to do. So I think it'll work. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't. And it'd just be a beautiful, I just feel like it would be such a beautiful sweater. And yeah, a nice brown sweater. So I've been thinking about casting that on, but then I'm like, and I already have a sweater that is gonna take, you know, that's gonna be my like engaging knit, you know, so I don't need to cast this on right away, but like I kind of want to. But those are kind of the plans right now that I'm thinking about doing. If you have knit the Judy sweater, let me know if you liked it. Is there a different sweater that you would use the daisy yarn for? You can definitely let me know that as well. I feel very indecisive and I don't know when I'll actually cast these things on. Oh, so sorry, one more thing. I have the leftovers from my summer sweater. I was thinking about using these for the, why can I not remember any of these things right now? The mystery knit along that Sari Nordlin, however, not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but her, what is this called? The Turtle Dove shawl. Oh my god. It was like a mystery knit along, I don't know if it's done already or if all the clues are out or not, but it looks so beautiful. I'm not going to show it because just in case there's spoilers. I think these are the two that I was working on, so like they're still very full. So I have like almost 3 skeins, so I don't know. I'm not very prepared. I just had a thought that maybe I could use this for that. and that would be a cool way to use up that yarn. So that's another thing that I was thinking about doing. So those are some maybe not so specific, some specific and some not so specific future plans that I have, but I just thought I would chat about them, ruminate on them a little bit with you. If you have any suggestions, any patterns you think that this yarn that I talked about would be nice for, feel free to share. Oh, and don't forget to tell me what I should do with the Dorney as well. I'm an overthinker, and so it's nice when other people are like, oh yeah, do this, you know? That's my podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some knitting in. Definitely let me know how your projects are going. Let me know how you did with your gift knitting, if you were doing gift knitting. If you did not do any gift knitting, good for you. I'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and make sure you're subscribed. Those things help other people, you know, helps YouTube to know that other people might also like my knitting podcast. And I hope you had an amazing time knitting with me. Hopefully you have an amazing end of your year. I think this will be the last podcast for 2023, so for me in 2023. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your 2023. I'll see you guys in 2024, and I will be back with another podcast as well as a, you know, year, like a what I knit in 2023 video and a knit and chat that I have planned. So again, make sure you're subscribed and if you want to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on those upcoming videos. Happy knitting. I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Alright, this is a song that I wrote about falling too fast, but I wouldn't know anything about that.
I don't wanna lose my grounding, so you catch me not responding, and I press my lips together so you don't find any answer.